Like, I enjoyed it a lot, I learned a lot, and I've improved a lot in the last 6 months. It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we were in a tough situation going to the Bernabeu, trying to change the result we got on the Etihad. But I think in those experiences, especially when you're young, you learn a lot. Made me realize how much I can improve and how much I want to work hard to next year and this season. Yeah, it was really nice. I think my first game in La Masia, I was 9 years old, and then I moved there when I was 11. So many players that played 5, 6, 7 years together when we were young and now are doing amazing things in football, and that's so nice. When I went out to Porto or to Valencia or wherever, when people hear you come from La Masia, it's like they respect you, and that's really nice. Now, always it's really important to start good. I mean, every game it's different, and the thing in football is that past is past, so every week you have another really important challenge. And it's important to start well and to gain confidence, but that was the past, and now you just have to think about the next challenge. I feel like I just want to go day by day and try to improve every day. And if I do every day really good, I'll improve and I'll have more chances to win and to play and to do my best, which is the most important thing. And collectively, I feel the same way. I don't feel like you have to think what's going to happen in 50 matches. You just need to think in tomorrow's training, and that's all I think now. Yeah, I've got a few. My favorite and the one that I've gone the most is Catalan. Maybe you know it, Tast. Yeah, I love it, and I've been loving living in Manchester, to be honest. I live in the center and I try to walk a lot every time I got time, so I'm loving it.
And welcome to the Amex Stadium, where City will look to bounce back today with a win against Brighton. And I have to say, we have done pretty well against them in the past. I don't want to jinx it, but the stats show we have won 19 times out of the last 30, so fingers crossed for another win today. But whilst I've been here, I've been looking around and I can't find FG. Where are you, FG? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, George. As you can see, I'm here at Leigh Sports Village, but I'm not alone. It's with great pleasure to say I'm with the manager, Ben Wilkinson, at a massive game today, Manchester Derby in the PL2. But let's take it back, because what a week it's been for the Academy. A massive victory against Oldham.
Yeah, it was a really pleasing night against Oldham. Obviously, for us, it's a little bit of a benchmark, seeing where we're at when we play against the senior teams. So I know Oldham weren't at full strength, but we're really pleased with what the lads produced on Tuesday in terms of the application, and also we won 5-1, but kind of how we were without the ball, the physicality we showed, the intensity in the game, we were really pleased with. So yeah, it was a big step up for us in that competition in terms of trying to get out of this group. So it's a really positive start, and hopefully we can continue that into the Bolton game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and hopefully there'll be some more City fans.
Yeah, that was top.
The players enjoyed that as well. You must have as well. What about the preparation for the PL2 then? Manchester Derby against a side that have won 2 out of 2 in the PL2. Does the preparation change at all for back to this competition in comparison to the EFL?
Not really. It's just a case for us of recovering first of all from the Oldham game, and then just looking at United and seeing how we think we can hurt them and what threats they might pose us. So yeah, preparation's pretty straightforward really for us in terms of a process. It's pretty consistent whatever competition we play in, whatever the opposition. We follow the same process, and then just try and identify a game plan, train it, and then see how it works on the match day.
And in terms of the dressing room here, it's quite a younger dressing room in comparison to other teams, in particular our opponents today. Does that make a difference, or is it because of the setup you're confident in the players' ability and what they can do?
Firstly, yes, very confident in what they can do. And I think secondly, when you look at the game now, you know, you look at players playing in the Premier League 16, 15, 17, 18, like, you know, the guys have got to be stretched, like playing, we don't want them playing under 21s football for too long. It's a step up from playing 18s football, and then depending on their pathway, if we can expose them to football, first team football, we will do. So, you know, if we think the talent is there with the young ones, then they need the opportunity to play. They need the opportunity to step up and also to try and suffer, because, you know, in our games program, because we win a lot of games, we have a lot of the ball, it doesn't match up with the reality of senior football and going to most football clubs where you don't have as much of the ball, you don't have as much, you don't have as many chances, opportunities, etc. So I think for us the idea is if we can fast track, we will. And yeah, for me it's just a reflection of where the game's at.
And a reflection of your hard work and the hard work everyone does behind the scenes, as we're seeing so many players leave this setup and then head off into first team football like you recognised. It must give you so much confidence and so much happiness to see the fruits of your labour being shown.
Yeah, 100%. You know, that's ultimately why we do the job, is to try and get players' careers and you know, work as in any form of life. When you spend a lot of time with people, you build up relationships, and you want to see these kids do well. The coaching staff we've got here, I think we've worked with a lot of these players. I'm sort of 4 or 5 years in with this kind of group. Muddy is coaching them when they were 8. You know, you naturally form relationships and bonds with them, and it's really rewarding when you see them go and, you know, start their careers at the minute in the Championship or whatever level it's at. It's, you know, it's obviously watching with real interest and hoping that they can make the step up.
I want to talk to you quickly about Jaden Heskey as well. He's wearing the armband today again. Is he adding a lot more leadership to his game, or is that something he's already had?
To me, there's always different types of leaders, and for the last, I'd say, 3 years, he leads by what he does on the pitch. Not necessarily a guy who's going to shout and rant and rage at people, but he leads by example. His attitude, the way he trains every day, and the way he sort of personifies everything we want as a football club with and without the ball. He's absolutely to that, and so he's a leader for me, the way he plays, the way he applies himself, and hopefully the rest of the lads will follow his example.
Absolutely, Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you. The action is live on City Plus, so make sure you check that one out. As you can see, I'm pitch side. I'm joined by Justin Oboavwoduo. The lads have just walked out. You've just had a look, taken in your surroundings. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling confident. Obviously, these are the kind of games you want to play in, derby games. It's a good opportunity for us and the team to pick up on the last game with the win and keep the momentum going into the international break.
Momentum indeed. I'll take it back as well to the EFL Trophy game against Oldham. You played in front of a Manchester City fan base that came to support you. A massive result for you, a great experience. What was that like?
Yeah, obviously these are the kind of games you want to playing in front of the fans and playing against senior opposition. And I think that the team performed very well, a very mature performance. And I think obviously we want to build on that in that competition, but also use that in the league as well, and keep going, get as many wins as possible in the league and in the EFL Trophy.
Now, you've been around the first team a few times. You were on a pre-season tour a couple of seasons ago as well. How important is it to see players going through? There's a couple of your former teammates who are from the academy who've taken your path, who were there at Brighton today. How much does that give you in terms of confidence?
Yeah, obviously it shows that there's a pathway at this club, and if you work hard and show your ability when you're over there with the first team, that you have an opportunity to be able to be with them and be a member of the squad. So I think to see a lot of the players being involved there, it gives us great confidence that we can be the next.
And obviously we've seen a little bit, well, I've definitely seen a change in you this season. It seems like locked in, Justin, this year. You're very, very professional off the pitch. You've been taking a lot more time to look after yourself compared to, I mean, you always did, but this year you seems to be the year that you're really, really focused. What are your goals for the season ahead?
Yeah, obviously I want to try and win as many games possible and be a crucial member of this team. And perform at the highest level, really. So I want to be prepared for the next step, because obviously we want to transition into senior football, and you've got to nail the 1%. So I think really switching on that and seeing the benefits, and hopefully I can see the rewards later.
You've got to nail the 1%, he said. I mean, speaking of 1%, you ever so slightly, we'll head this way a little bit because the sprinklers are about to come on. FC26 is coming out soon, Justin. For people who are just tuning in, you weren't very good at the last one. How are you feeling about that one?
I think I might put down the controller this year, FC26. Although I'm a very good FC player, like I said, football's the focus. So I won't be playing too much FC, to be honest. But if you want a game, I'll always give you a good cooking, but it's what it is.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can set that one up. And whilst we're watching this as well, there is a new Instagram account, Man City Academy. They've been posting a few shots of you. I think Isaac's somewhere around. So I'll let you head off. All the best today.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll get some shots on the Instagram as well. So make sure you give that a follow and let's head back.
Thank you so much to FG. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Matchday Live. We'll be hearing from FG throughout the day. We've turned him into our very own Chris Kamara. We're very excited to see what reporting skills he's going to be bringing today. He's down. He's not too far away from us. So if you want to watch the City United derby there, you can get that game live. It kicks off at 1 o'clock and it's available on City Plus. If you don't subscribe, it is worth getting on there right now. Subscribing, you get so many of the Academy games, the women's games, and of course, loads of unbelievable content. So FG will be there, though, giving us a report, of course, if you stay watching us here on Matchday Live. Welcome to you all. City taking on Brighton today in the Premier League. And we have the team for you. Let's go. So here is the starting 11 for you. Today it is James Trafford in goal. Mateus Nunes. And then Johnny Stones. Now, John Stones is going to be partnered today by Kushanoff. And thankfully, he is fit. It is Ryan Aït-Nouri. And there's a nice surprise for you. A start for the Ballon d'Or winner, it's Rodri. Also our captain, Bernardo Silva. And what a start to the season this guy's had. It is Oscar Bob. And Reinders, another cracking start to the season for him to life in the Premier League. Omar Marmoush. Erling Haaland for his 100th Premier League appearance. And welcome to Matchday Live. That is your City starting 11 for today. Congratulations to Erling Haaland, who will make his 100th Premier League appearance today. Now, I am joined in the studio quite simply by the Goalkeepers Union. We will hear nothing bad said against goalkeepers today. They will save everything that you throw at them today, these two. Big welcome to the wonderful Karen Bardsley and, of course, David James. Hello, welcome to you both.
Hi. It's nice to be here.
It's lovely to see you again. I haven't seen you this season yet. To both of you, it's lovely to see you.
Yes, it is early, though.
It is early in the season.
Only the
not
third
in the
game.
day, not in the day, Jamo, but yes, in the season. Now, a little bit later on, we are going to have a full section on goalkeepers. We are going to talk about goalkeepers in depth. We are going to ask the guys about goalkeeping. But we are going to start with a quick mention on that team. Of course, the big news that James Trafford holds his spot today. Without going into too much detail, which we will do later, Jamo, what's your first impression on that?
I think it's a good decision by Pep, young goalkeeper. Obviously, what happened last weekend wasn't great, especially for the second goal, but to have the confidence to keep him in the side, I think that will give James Trafford a lot of confidence himself, and we will see why Man City bought him.
I mean, KB, for his opening game against Wolves, we saw, you know, it was a really good Premier League debut for City, for Trafford in that that Wolves game, apologies. You know, he was solid. He kept a clean sheet. You know, he looked settled. It was a really good opening day performance by Trafford. You know, when he was challenged, he was there. Obviously, we saw in the Spurs game, it was more difficult for him. So were you expecting him to hold his place today?
I was, actually. I think just based on some of the noise just around the Edison situation as well, it makes sense. But I think you can see that, obviously, an academy product in James Trafford. He's a great shot stopper. I think he's just finding his feet at the moment. You know, there were times perhaps where he struggled in build-up, but he's a very confident goalkeeper. And, you know, I think the team will feel confident with him. And the fact that he has been backed again by Pep just suggests that he is one for the future. I think he's a very competent goalkeeper, but we have to keep in mind that he's
21.
Is he 21, 22 years old? Yeah.
I know. It's young.
Yeah, I think that's the key here. I mean, he is so young as a goalkeeper in the Premier League. Get this decision right, which I think Pep will do. Have a great season, then you've got a goalkeeper for how many? 10 years? 11,
Longer,
15?
hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing.
Yes.
It's at 21 years old. I mean, it's not like it's his first Premier League season either. So he's got the experience, he's got the capabilities, and yeah, I think it was a tough decision for Pep in a lot of ways because normally a mistake by a player, he allows them to think about it for the following game. But to bring James straight back in is a big move.
But it's different in your world. Obviously, I don't need to tell you both about when goalkeepers make mistakes. The eyes of the world are suddenly on the goalkeeper, and it only takes one mistake, and suddenly people question your position, KP. I mean, that must be a really frustrating part of the goalkeeping role.
Yeah, it's daft, really, when you think about it. You know, a lot of people that say these things aren't actually goalkeepers either, and I think, you know, if you don't actually understand what it's like to be there and you don't understand how the manager handles those types of situations, you might think that's why, you know, they jump to the decisions and the things that they say. But, you know, you have to kind of build that support around a young goalkeeper as well and accept the fact that, you know, the amounts of shots that you face, mistakes will happen, and it is inevitable. It's how you react to those situations. But if you think about the game itself, you know, it is geared up to score goals, isn't it? So our role as a goalkeeper is to essentially ruin the game by keeping everything out. So statistically, it is inevitable that, you know, you will make mistakes, but the upside is the immense positives of making some incredible saves.
We love it when you guys ruin games, KB. It's wonderful.
That's what we're here
wonderful,
for.
Yes, we love it. We love it. Well, let's hope that happens today. Absolutely love that. We're going to talk about goalkeepers in much greater detail a little bit later on, so do stick with us. And also, we are going to hear a very exclusive interview as well that MatchDay Live have got from Nico as well, which I'm very excited to hear as well. Moving slightly more up the pitch, in terms of the defence today, JMO, another surprise for me today was to see Kushanoff on the team sheet, on the starting 11. Now, I loved Kushanoff last year. Obviously, we've not seen him for a little while. So I was a little bit surprised to see him back in the starting 11 today. Were you?
Well, I look at the results that City had last season, corresponding fixtures. The victory at Wolves, I think it was 2-1 last year, 4-0 defeat against Spurs, 2-1 defeat against Brighton. So there's a part of it where if City are improving, and 2-0, this sounds a bit bizarre, but 2-0 compared to 4-0 is obviously an improvement. I think there's still no, but
that is finding the optimism, JMO. We appreciate you.
I look at it. That's how I try and look at it. Anyway, I just think that there was still a defeat, and I think that there's an opportunity for Pep now in a game, which I think there is this improvement. We saw it in the first game for sure, to sort of freshen things up, change things around a little bit, if you like. And Kushanoff has his opportunity with the international break coming up, just to say I'm ready for the following match.
I think if I may as well, I think, you know, based on the speed of obviously Brighton's front line as well, the likes of Matoma, etc. He's got a very pacey back line in there. So in terms of being able to manage that space in front of James Trafford as well, I think that's going to be crucial. So I think seeing Kushanoff in there was a bit of a surprise, but the fact that he's absolutely rapid and, you know, flanked by the likes of Aït-Nouri on the left as well, yeah, it's going to be tough to get him behind, I think.
Yeah, and he is rapid. He is rapid. If you're wondering as well, on the bench, Ruben Diaz is on the bench, as is Nathan Ake and is Manuel Akanji as well. But Kushanoff starts today. Now, we're going to jump all the way to the front of the pitch now and just say again, congratulations to Erling Haaland. 100 Premier League appearances today. Honestly, it feels like yesterday that I was getting giddy of the rumours that Erling Haaland might be coming to City. But today, it is 100 Premier League appearances. Before, obviously, the game today, 87 goals in 99 appearances. Hopefully that will go up today. No player has ever scored more in their first 100 games. KB, does it feel like yesterday to you as well that he was coming?
It really does, yeah. It's just gone so quickly, hasn't it? You know, I think the one that still stands out in my mind that just absolutely blew me away about Haaland was the game against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League, that overhead kick. I mean, sorry, the goal that he scored at that far post was just unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it, and I just think, you know, we've got to keep a hold of this one, and obviously we have. But yeah, the amount of success he's had in such a short space of time has been absolutely incredible. And I know he's just overtaken is Alan Shearer, I believe, on, you know, the fastest one to the most goals in 100 appearances. It's just incredible.
I hosted an evening for City in the community recently, and it was an evening with Erling Haaland, and he was asked what was his favourite goal that he'd scored for City, and that he couldn't choose. I can't remember what the other one he said was now, but one of them was that Borussia Dortmund goal.
It's incredible.
Which is etched in my memory, yeah.
Physical monster, isn't he?
But 100 appearances already for him, JMO. 87 goals so far. I mean, in terms of Erling Haaland, it feels like we talk about him every game, but I'm so happy to talk about him every game because he continues to impress and grow, and we're seeing different sides of his game, I feel like.
Yeah, I think he's had to evolve, which is obviously a positive, because when he first came in, I think, especially that first 6 months, no one knew what to do with him. He was, I think, the glut of his goals in that first season came in that first 6 months, and for teams to work him out, to keep him quiet, and then allow the rest of the team to come around and sort of step in. It's not just the things he does on the ball; it's what he does off the ball, causing problems for opposition. I think that's where his improvement is, and as Karen said, I mean, the guy signed a long contract, so he's going to be here for a while. And I think breaking Alan Shearer's record in 100 games, he's got to have his eyes fixed on Alan Shearer's overall Premier League goal scoring record, which was 260.
Oh, is it? Crikey.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, but we're looking at a player who has the capabilities of surpassing that number. And as you say, the range of goals. I mean, that goal was fantastic against Borussia Dortmund, but he just scores pretty much every goal, doesn't he? Oh. Headers, volleys.
Well, this was Brighton last year. And all the goals don't have to be beautiful. I'm absolutely fine.
Like just trickling in is fine.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Oh, I just love that, as you mentioned, the versatility he has as well. You've seen another side to him, continuing to get, drop in deeper. He wants to get on the ball. He's also got that threat in behind as well. He's a powerful runner. He can drive. He's always in the box. So he's a constant threat. So, as you've said, the opposition don't always know, how to deal with him. They put two on him. It's always a problem regardless of wherever he is on the pitch. So he's just a constant threat, and he must be an absolute nightmare to play against.
Well, I have a friend, an old manager, who used to talk about goal scorers, and he used to talk about the ones who score great goals. And he said you can have a great goal scorer, but not a great scorer of goals. Whereas Erling Haaland's a great goal scorer and scores great goals. Some players just score 25-yarders, but not many of them. Erling scores.
Can we play guess the manager that said that to you?
John Steele. He's season manager.
Ruined the game there, but fine.
You wouldn't have guessed it.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that. I was going to say Harry Redknapp, so we'll go with that. In terms of other surprises in the starting 11 today, I mean, I think we all had our fingers crossed that we were going to see Rodri soon, but obviously Pep had kept indicating that perhaps it was going to be after the international break. I mean, the news that Spain has called Rodri up, I thought, maybe, but to see that name on the starting 11 again, KB, it's joyous.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get eased in a bit more. I thought maybe he'd have a bit more minutes before he went away with Spain, so I certainly didn't expect to see him to start. I thought he was going to come off the bench perhaps, but yeah, what an addition. I think Nico has done a fine job since, coming in early days in the season. I think he was kind of up and down a little bit last season, but, fantastic talent, especially considering he'd just been helicoptered in January into midst of chaos. So seeing Rodri, I think, will bring a lot more control, if we see him at his best. Now, I think which Rodri we see will be interesting today because he has looked slightly rusty.
Yeah, but I think Pep isn't going to play him or start him if he's not.
If he's not, yeah, I agree.
You can't afford to make that mistake at this stage. Again, because of the international break, as ex-players, we don't like going on international break with bad vibes in your head to come back to. You want a good win, go into the international break, come back, good vibe in the change room. So I think Rodri's ready.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, because I don't want him going off to Spain if he's not ready.
No, exactly.
We just kept him here and wrapped him up in bubble wrap, if that's all right. Yes, but thrilled to see him starting today, and I'm so interested to see, in terms of him and Reinders and Silva, how that's going to work, who's going to push more forward, how they're going to link. Very, very excited for that. So the PL2 game, of course, United City is the derby in the PL2 today. As you can see, the teams are coming out now. That game is available for you to watch live on City Plus. If you would like to switch over and watch that, we are not offended. That is okay. Otherwise, please do join us. Stick here on us with MatchDay Live. FG is at the game. We are planning to keep throwing to him all day and to finally make that man work for a living. We are going to keep him busy today. Can we see him in the background there? I'm surprised we can't immediately see him there. But yes, that game available over on City Plus right now. Just quickly on that Reinders, Silva, Rodri, how that midfield is going to look. From what you've seen of Reinders so far, JMO, who's pushing up forward? Who's the number 10 in that?
Reinders. Yeah. With
Silva sitting a bit deeper?
Yeah, I think, obviously, Rodri kind of holding the back position. I mean, it'll be, I'm not going to say like the bottom end of a triangle, inverted triangle. Is that right? Two up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
The bottom end of an inverted triangle got me there, JMO.
Sure.
It all depends what angle you're looking at. I think Rodri, again, will be in that holding position and just allowing the two just to cause problems.
I think with the fluidity and the rotation, we'll see Reinders get forward at times a bit more because we've seen him go centrally, through the half spaces in the back line, as well as Silva kind of occupying those spaces as well, but on the right or pulling wide at times as well.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I think it's going to be just understanding where the spaces are, but I think at the minute, with just Reinders' ability, oh, here he is. FG's on the screen.
He's just popped up, KB, to interrupt your discussion on that.
It's probably better than my chat anyway.
Hey, FG, you just popped up on our screen.
Everyone.
Lovely to see you, mate.
Lovely to see you too. I mean, obviously, Chris Kamara was busy today, so they asked me to come here instead of Brighton. And you know what? It's actually really cool. The position I'm in, and obviously with this being on City Plus, we can show you the action live. The game's about to kick off. It's a Manchester derby. I mean, the City team, the City players are taking this very, very seriously. So, I mean, if you're a City fan and you're watching this, just know there's a lot of homegrown Manchester City players who really want to win this game. But Brownie's not here either, so I just get to speak to you guys in the studio and I'll keep you updated.
Cheers, FG, and you're going to have to do some serious work today, mate. It's not all fun and laughter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's never work when you enjoy it, eh? And I'm having the time of my life. And nice to see the goalkeepers as well in the studio. JMO, Karen, hope you're doing well.
Strong.
Yeah. I'm surprised that FG wasn't at the end of that lineup giving the City players a high five.
Yeah.
I mean, I did try my best to, but it's Derby Day.
He's got the wrong accreditation.
You've got to be serious. The action is actually starting now, so it's Man United who are on the attack straight away, and it's a shot and it's over the bar. But I mean, good start from them. But yeah, this is pretty cool. First time ever on Matchday Live as well, so we're making history together.
FG, this is really cool. Right, we're going to keep coming over to you for updates. We want full Chris Kamara style updates from you all day, please, FG. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Isn't that ace? Oh, he's still there. Goodbye. We don't know what he said. It was probably something insulting to me. We love you, FG. We'll see you a bit later on. OK, so City taking on Brighton today, although it looked like the sunshine, you could have been in Brighton right there, and that was just in Lee. So let's find out the starting 11 for the Brighton team today. OK, so you can see the team there is on your screen. It's Verbruggen, Veltman, Van Hecken, Dunk, De Cooper, Baleba, Hinchelwood, Minte, Gomez, Mitoma and Welbeck. That is the Brighton 11 for today, and you can see the subs there as well, and a name that will jump out to you there. It might be 10 years, but one of our former players, James Milner, on the bench for Brighton today. Yes, that man is still playing Premier League football. So that is the Brighton 11 for today. Oh, and there he is. There is James Milner. I can't believe that man's still playing Premier League football. Can we just take a minute to say that you played with him, David James?
Do you know what? I love this story. World Cup 2010. England are cheated out of the competition with a goal that Frank Lampard scored and should have counted. Anyway, we finish the game, we go back to the hotel, everyone's in the bar commiserating, and the question was, where's Millie? And he was doing a warm down in the pool.
Wasn't he? Doing a blowout.
No.
Yeah, that was a young Millie, and that's why he is still playing. And just a quick shout, he's wearing number 20 in respect of the Diogo Jota.
Oh,
so he changed his number, yeah. The guy is a legend.
He's a good man.
Loveliest man, yeah.
That is such an insight, though, as to why he is still playing football. If he is, you know, he's.
I should have gone in with him. I'd still be playing. I'd be.
Is that?
What were you doing instead?
I was in the bar commiserating about Frank's disallowed goal, or not allowed goal.
His longevity is something that should be studied in this game, though, KB, isn't it? For the fact that he is, and he's not just still playing football, he is still playing Premier League football for a good Premier League team.
He's a specimen, isn't he, really? Yeah, I mean, you could put him forward to be an experiment in the future, but yeah, he's still fit as ever, still professional as ever. As you say, all the right habits have allowed him to reach, you know, the heights that he has, and he's had a phenomenal career. So, you know, if we do see him today, it would be, you know, lovely for all of our, obviously, City fans watching along. But yeah, I've had very brief interactions with him, but he's always been a lovely guy to meet, lovely guy to speak to, and he's, you know, like I said, a top-class professional.
I guess you're not surprised then, knowing what you do and having played with him, that he has lasted and he is continuing to play at this level.
Yeah, I think genetics have a massive part to play in this. You can do all you want to be your best, and if your body won't allow you, then it won't allow you. So, but what he's done is given himself the best chance, and the fact that I think was he 16 when he made his debut for Leeds?
Wow.
Yeah, the fact that he has maintained himself and had the mental capacity to be able to maintain it, because it's a long time to keep focused. And yeah, if he comes on to try and help Brighton get back into the game, then that would be great.
Of course, when he was here, he won 2 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup and a League Cup in his 5 years at City. Obviously, that was 10 years ago now. I can't believe time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And I've had a lot of fun in the last 10 years. OK, here's a little reminder for you of James Milner just casually scoring against Manchester United. Well, after that, thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you very much.
It was the same, didn't he?
Love the celebration on the Trafford as well. Oh, look at that team as well. Oh, yeah, that was some team. So
prime.
James Milner is creeping up on that Premier League appearance all-time list. I've got a little quick game for the both of you. I think you're going to smash this one. I've got a good feeling about this one. JMO looks really concentrated here, KB.
I hate your games.
Yes, that's the reaction I like. Top 5 Premier League appearances of all time.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Number 1.
Yep.
Oh, we got to give you the top 5?
I'm not asking you in order. I'm not that mean. But go on,
Gareth
just for
Barry.
fun. Gareth Barry, number 1. 653 Premier League appearances.
Number 2, Millie.
Yeah, I was just... I'll let you play.
Yes, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Number 3, Ryan Giggs.
639 appearances for James Milner. So, a good season, and he's going to beat the top of that. OK. 3rd?
Ryan Giggs.
Has he looked at my script, KB?
Seems
632
that way.
appearances.
I actually had more minutes than Ryan Giggs, but that's another question. Frank Lampard.
609 appearances. Are you smelling anything fishy here, or is this...
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Then
Why don't you just finish it off for us?
Might be someone here on number 5.
KB?
KB?
Definitely not me, no.
Is that you?
I think so.
David James, 572 Premier League appearances. How do you know the top 5 off by heart?
Because I remember,
Is it your favourite stat?
I remember falling down the leaderboard.
James been studying.
I'm surprised there's not more goalkeepers on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
The likes of Peter
I think
Schmeichel and stuff as well.
The second goalkeeper is Mark Schwarzer.
You really have been looking at it, haven't you?
Well, it's interesting because one of the things is people always talk about longevity of goalkeepers, and it's because they're goalkeepers. But there aren't that many. I think it's myself, Mark, in the top 10. And when you look at Millie and the likes of Gareth Barry, I mean, the one thing they have at their advantage is that if they come on in the 89th minute,
sure.
it counts as an appearance. And
Yeah.
I kind of had a thing against Ryan Giggs because my minutes played was more than Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, the stats done you dirty there, JMO, hasn't it?
And he scored more goals than me.
But also, also, I'm not surprised that David James knows that top 5 off by heart. And I imagine if I'd asked for the actual appearances, he would have probably given them to me as well. So thanks for playing along there, guys.
Just ruined that game
Right.
for you. Sorry.
You ruined that
I
game.
enjoyed watching,
yes.
yeah.
So Milner on the bench today. If he comes on, of course, he's going to creep even higher and higher up that list. So he's overtaking Frank Lampard, Gareth Barry at the top. Let's talk about the rest of the Brighton team today. Obviously, Brighton, a team that always seems to get plundered during the summer for their best players. Of course, this year they lost João Pedro. He went to Chelsea. He's had a great start at Chelsea as well. So Danny Welbeck, and he must have some number of Premier League appearances as well, by the way. What did you make of the ins and outs at Brighton this summer, JMO?
Like you said, I mean, what you expect. I always find it interesting when you look at the spending of the big teams. What's become more common now is the spending of the teams that got promoted. But you have that middle raft of teams which are kind of just doing enough to stay in the league, and that's part of Brighton's model, which they would argue is successful. They stay in the Premier League, they give themselves half a chance, if you like, of maybe getting to European competition, but never do or never overextend themselves, shall I say. So, not surprised, but they recruit well, which is another thing which allows them to stay in the position where they can compete in the Premier League.
I think they're a great team. I think they put some really great performances together. They create a lot of chances, and it'll be interesting to see how they manage today. But I think the change I was expecting to see was at right back for Brighton, and they brought Veltman in because I think at Everton their right back really suffered. And I think decision making was something that, to go into the midfield or to stay was difficult, and we saw Jack Grealish having a lot of success up against him as well. So I think that's probably the right move.
Yeah, because of course they lost that game against Everton. They drew their first game of the Premier League season against Fulham. So 3 games in, does the pressure start to build to get a Premier League win?
Well, I'll let you answer that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it becomes a cliche in the end, but everyone's looking for that first win. I mean, all the chatter at the moment about the 3 promoted sides getting their first win within 2 games, essentially. It is important, as I say, the Brighton model isn't to go out and buy players to win trophies necessarily, as much as, of course, they would love to win trophies. It's about surviving. It's about bringing in players, selling them. I was going to say, interesting with the change room dynamic. If you sign for a team like Brighton, are you signing for a stepping stone to a bigger club? And therefore, when the transfer window shuts and you haven't moved on, are you thinking, hang on a minute, I've got another season here? Because with the respect, you're not going to get relegated, or you don't think you're going to get relegated, but you're hoping for almost like a Crystal Palace fairy tale season where you might win one of the trophies. But really, I think you're looking somewhere else.
Oh, I don't know why I went inside. I was like, when you said that, it's hard to argue against it.
It's the model, but it is the model, and the attraction. I would say. I mean, when you look at Matoma, who for 2 or 3 seasons now everyone's been raving about him. Why hasn't he gone to a bigger club for the big transfer? Maybe he's happy, and I'd like to think they're all happy and they love Brighton. But ultimately, Brighton's, Brentford's of this world are teams which will bring players in with almost like with the open door policy that if a bigger club comes in, you can go. But it also means that the players that come in are trying their hardest. And that's why, like last season, Man City found it difficult because they are capable players. And if they're trying their hardest, they're going to give you a very difficult game.
Yeah, of course, we didn't beat Brighton last year.
Indeed.
Along with their new manager, we didn't beat them last year. But I suppose, I like to think last year was a slight anomaly for us as well. In terms of that Brighton team, Karen, you mentioned it before in terms of bringing cushion off him because of how fast they are. When you look at, in particular, their attack, Minte and Mitoma on both sides, we know that they're tricky. We know how fast they are. Is that going to be the key for you for City to make sure that they shut down those opportunities that are coming out from the wings?
I think, if anything, especially the likes of Trafford in goal, like he's such a strong manager of the box, if you will. Like he'll come and take crosses. He defends the area really, really well. So in terms of what they're going to sacrifice, I think they're quite happy to sacrifice the wide areas. And for me, from what I've seen the last few games, City, especially against Spurs, kind of really struggled in those central areas to not only create but to kind of deal with the threat as well. So I think that's something that, behind the ball, that structure in central areas is going to be really important to City. So, yeah, obviously, of course, you want to get out and block the crosses and stop anything really dangerous, but I think they'll be confident that James Trafford will deal with anything that does come into the area. But it's more like the slip passes through, because obviously City want to play with a high line as well. So it's just how that is managed. So I think that's probably why they've gone for the speed.
Thank you. So that is the Brighton starting at 11 for today. Of course, that is a 2 p.m. UK time kickoff. We're going to go back to FG very shortly because, of course, United are playing City currently. It's still 0-0 there in the PL2. Now, a little bit earlier this week, we got to have MatchDay Live, got to have an exclusive chat with our Nico, and here it is just for you.
Nico Gonzalez has just thumped it into the net.
To be honest, amazing. I've been so welcome in the city and obviously from the family that we are here in the team, and the results I think have been good. The main objective of last season was achieved, which was Champions League. It was a big target for us. And obviously in the Club World Cup we wanted to arrive to the final stages, but we lost in a tough game. But I think we are doing things really well, and I hope this season is much better. It's quite hard, to be honest, because it's like you train one day and you start to play, and obviously that month in February was so many tough games against Liverpool, Madrid, Newcastle. I think there was a point that I had even more games than trainings. It was an amazing challenge, and I feel like I enjoyed it a lot. I learned a lot, and I've improved a lot in the last 6 months. It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we were in a tough situation going to the Bernabeu, trying to change the result we we got on the Etihad. But I think in those experiences, especially when you're young, you learn a lot. Made me realize how much I can improve and how much I want to work hard to next year and this season. Yeah, it was really nice. I think my first game in La Masia, I was 9 years old, and then I moved there when I was 11. So many players that played 5, 6, 7 years together when we were young and now are doing amazing things in football, and that's so nice. When I went out to Porto or to Valencia or wherever, when people hear you come from La Masia, it's like they respect you, and that's really nice. Now, always it's really important to start with. I mean, every game it's different, and the thing in football is that past is past, so every week you have another really important challenge. And it's important to start well and to gain confidence, but that was the past, and now you just have to think about the next challenge. I feel like I just want to go day by day and try to improve every day. And if I do every day really good, I'll improve and I'll have more chances to win and to play and to do my best, which is the most important thing. And collectively, I feel the same way. I don't feel like you have to think what's going to happen in 50 matches. You just need to think in tomorrow's training, and that's all I think now. Yeah, I've got a few. My favorite and the one that I've gone the most is Catalan. Maybe you know it, Tast. Yeah, I love it, and I've been loving living in Manchester, to be honest. I live in the center and I try to walk a lot every time I got time, so I'm loving it.
That was Nico speaking exclusively to us, where there was no expense spared on our part there for the set decorations. Loving the detail there, guys. Right, we're going to go back over now to Esports Village because our very own FG is pitchside. It's the PL2 Derby. FG, give us an update. What's happening?
I mean, quite a lot's happened since you came back, actually. So 7 minutes in, a name you 100% recognise if you keep up to date with the Man City Academy, Stephen Fooney. He gets the ball at the edge of his area and he runs the length of the pitch. He sets up Ryan McAdoo for a chance, and then after that as well, we've got a right-back currently, Ashton Muir, who is playing at right-back, but he's a forward player. But you can see the chance on the screen right now. This is an incredible run by our centre-half, Stephen Fooney. He takes it almost to the edge of their area, and he plays Ryan McAdoo, formerly of Chelsea and Colchester, and it's a chance which is blocked on the line. It's been all City since then. I mentioned as well, we saw another chance for Ashton Muir, who is playing right back today, but he's a forward player. That was a great opportunity. And then finally, Justin Oboavwoduo, who we spoke to a little earlier on, had a chance where the keeper made a great save. I think we've got that clip for you to show you as well. I mean, but it's all Manchester City, but this is a chance I think Justin would have wanted to take away. But City have taken a bit of control here. They started off a little slow. It took 7 minutes for them to have their first opportunity. But at the minute, it's all City, and we've got some very, very promising signs as we get a chance with Divine, who scored. Oh, it's gone. I thought he scored. He's not scored. I thought he had anyway, but he's not.
You really
but yeah, I mean, we are honestly playing really, really well. I genuinely thought, and the cameraman next to me agrees, right? I thought that was in the back of the net, but it wasn't. But it's close. It's very positive signs. We've got so many exciting players here to watch. The future is very, very bright for this football club.
FG, you've been doing really good at this, mate. This is great. This is really enjoyable.
Okay, Man United are on the attack now, Nat, so 1 second.
Okay, we're getting a replay, FG.
Which...
Oh,
okay,
it did. The angle did look... the net rippled. I get it. I get why you jumped.
You know what? I was about to start celebrating as well. That would have been pretty awkward, but it was a great opportunity. But City look in control. They look good. Hopefully, we're going to have 2 wins from 2 on MatchDay Live today.
I like this, FG. I like us watching you watch the game, and our viewers are watching us watch you watch the game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, apologies if you're not enjoying it, but I'm having a great time.
I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. Oh, and
I'll
by
keep
the
you
way,
up to date as much as I can.
By the way, FG, congratulations. Congratulations. We saw that you got your esports contract renewed this week. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, very nice moment for me. If anyone wants to play me on FC, I'll be here, but I'm a bit busy right now.
Thanks, FG. Right, we'll be back there a little bit later on. Any goals, any action, we'll try and bring it. He's doing a good job there.
Doing well.
I enjoyed that.
He's doing well.
Go on, FG. Right, the transfer window. It's time to talk about it. It's got another day. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time, the transfer window will finally shut. Kind of, at least in this country for buying players in. It'll shut. And, it has been an interesting transfer window, hasn't it? And I imagine it's going to be a very interesting 24 hours as well. Players all over the show bringing out statements. It's very, very interesting. There's been so many, £3 billion worth of buying and selling in the Premier League this transfer window. It's absolutely insane. So what we did was we had a look at all of the signings and we made a little FPL team of all of the signings. And I'm going to get our wonderful guests' take on the signings that have happened across this transfer window. There has been some serious signings there as well. So we're going to have a little look through this. We've already mentioned Trafford, obviously. Do you know what? I'm going to jump the goalkeepers. There's enough goalkeeper chat on this. Jamo, when you look at that, who's the standout summer buy for you this transfer window?
Are the goalkeepers?
No.
Oh, okay. Standout. Ooh.
For the wrong reasons, maybe Sheshko.
Yes, KB.
Well,
sorry. No apologies on this show.
I think mine's not on there.
OK, who was yours? It's not on there.
Might play for Liverpool.
Ekatiki?
Maybe.
OK.
Okay.
KB?
Yeah, I think I was really expecting to see a bit more from Wirtz. I saw him a little bit in the Nations League over the summer, and he was outstanding, obviously, in the Euros as well. I think, selfishly, Reinders has been fantastic, especially in that game against Wolves. But, yeah, if I had to pick, I'm just going to stay with Reinders, I think.
I'm happy with that, KB.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant.
In 2 games, he has had a huge impact. Obviously, you mentioned Wirtz there. Wirtz, the biggest transfer fee of the summer, JMO. But he was, that Newcastle game they had was an incredible watch. But he was quiet in the game.
Wirtz? Yeah. They ultimately, that's what I love about the season, how it progresses. Everyone accepts sort of indifferent performances at the beginning of the season, expect it to be perfect in the middle, and at the end it's just about getting points. The reality is it's just about getting points from the first game to the end. He was part of a side which managed to get over the line with 3 points. I think he will grow into the position, but there's with a big influx of players, or the turnaround of players, should I say, because they've spent a lot, but they've also sold a lot. It's kind of difficult to work out who wants to lead things at times, and I think everybody has a little go at doing it. So, as TK, as I said, he's had his go. Mo Salah's been very quiet at the moment, but you know that Mo Salah won't be quiet for too long. The one thing, I'll just quickly jump back to the numbers on the Fantasy League image there. Erling Haaland's 14 million, and we've got the highest transfer at 116 million, who doesn't get anywhere near that. So it just goes to show how good Erling Haaland is. Going back to Erling and his 100th Premier League appearance today. Yeah, the problem is that you're expecting people to be their best. Karen and I were just talking while off camera there about the signings of Burma, possibly of Visa, and how they did for Brentford, and whether or not they can do the same in other clubs. The numbers that they produced at Brentford make them that value, and I think they will reproduce that. These players here, and especially with the big turnover at Liverpool, they will eventually get to those numbers. But what you want is players to get better. And where Erling Haaland came in, scored 50 goals in one season, now he's on 89 and nearly, chasing down a shoot. You want players to get better, and if you can put them in the right environment, they will get better, and then they're good signings.
I used to love Bruyne in Buemo. He was always in my FPL team. Used to. Used to. Of course, we're mentioning Liverpool there. They take on Arsenal today. Arsenal, have they finally got their number 9? Obviously, they signed Gyökeres. It dragged a little bit, but they got him. It feels like for as long as we can remember, Arsenal fans have said that the only reason they've not won the league is because they've not had a number 9. He got his first goals against Leeds last week. Is he the missing piece for them?
I don't know if it's just solely one thing. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously Odegaard as well picked up a bit of an injury as well. So I think, you know, how that midfield reacts, and Saka as well. So I think that's a lot of pressure to put just on one player, especially kind of one that's, again, just learning the ropes. I like the fact that he moves from central areas out to wide. I think he is a threat, but I think he's just going to be finding his feet. But that's a lot of pressure to put on someone's shoulders.
Yeah, and I think what was interesting as well is Eze going, and Mikel Arteta saying that he's going to give Eze freedom. And the one thing about Arsenal, which I think under Arteta has been apparent, is players don't get freedom. They get told what to do, except for Saka, possibly, except for Odegaard. And for him to bring in a new player and say he got freedom, again, I just wonder about changing room dynamics, whether the rest of the team are going, hang on a minute, we've been here through the thick and thin and you're giving him freedom and he hasn't even played a game yet. So whether or not that balance, which allows the number 9 to become more profitable, we shall see.
I do think that's a brilliant signing of Eze, though, and I did very much enjoy everything that happened around that transfer and where he was going and where he didn't go, and then the announcements. Very interesting there as well. Obviously, a quick word there before I ask you the final question on this. You mentioned Sesko there, you mentioned Manchester United. Obviously, we saw they signed him as a striker. We saw their game midweek where there was a penalty shootout against a League 2 team, and he stepped up to take the penalty. 10th, JMO, for a striker you've just signed.
And he scored. And he had cramp.
10th.
And they lost.
Yeah, they did. See, I had to squeeze that in there. Oh, go on, Grimsby. Always been a fan of Grimsby, me. Always. OK. We can see the teams are coming out there to warm up. There he is. Reinders, one of our summer signings. So my last question for you on the summer transfer window. Who has had the best window?
Oh, what a question.
That's tough. Oh, I like to just put him in there, JMO.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out. I think... strange, and I don't know why, and this was going to be complete left field, someone like Crystal Palace, who have had hardly any movement at all. They've trusted the players because they think they've got what they need. And this goes back to what does your club want from the end of the season. Crystal Palace playing in Europe for the first time, they've won the trophy for the first time, and they've got the belief that they can continue doing whatever it is they've been doing up to this point. I think with the likes of City, with Liverpool, with Manchester United, there's so much that it's difficult for them all to succeed. So until the end of the season, we won't work out of those three who's had the best transfer window.
OK, you like to throw a curveball in, JMO, I know.
Yeah, you've got to look at the sort of across the Premier League rather than just, they signed £300 million worth of players, 200 million. I mean, Arsenal have spent a fair few quid. Chelsea have, I think, just recently signed a player yesterday that's going to push them up to nearly 300 million, if I'm not mistaken. All 4 teams can't win the Premier League.
Oh, yeah. KB?
I don't know. Obviously, Liverpool and Arsenal have signed, as you say, a lot of players, a lot of quality players. Yet to see them fully come to fruition. But I don't know. When I saw Ryan Shirky in the Nations League as well, I thought he just absolutely lit the place up, and he was the transfer I was most excited about coming into City, and then I saw Ryan just play a bit more, and I thought, these are some fantastic players that we're bringing in to kind of just bolster the squad. So in terms of selfishly what our squad looks like by the end of the season, I think when Shirky kind of finds his feet a bit more, I think the creativity in that midfield is going to be terrifying, especially underneath someone like Erling Haaland. So I'm more focused on just kind of how this transfer window looks for us.
Yes, KB. Yes, KB. That's how you answer it, JMO.
OK. So you talked about the whole season. The one thing I found really interesting and I've loved is speaking to supporters and how their new favourite player is a player that hasn't even played for the side because it's a new signing. So.
I love Shirky, me already. Love him.
No, he's got a long way to develop. I'm not under any illusions that he's going to be like a plug-and-play player, but like what he's capable of doing, with an added discipline and perhaps a bit more physicality in his game, and hopefully under the likes of Pep, I think he could really flourish.
Yeah.
Let's hope I'm right.
Absolutely. And he suggested that football fans are fickle, JMO.
No. I just love the fact that these fans like their new player more than anyone else.
He's fun, though.
Yes,
how could
he
you
is.
not? He's
we love all
super
our new
fun to
players.
watch.
I love Aït-Nouri as well. And, of course, we love James Trafford.
You know my favourite player is?
Phil Foden.
Oscar Bob.
Oscar Bob, of course.
He's a new signing.
Yes, basically. Yeah, basically. Right, we couldn't have two legendary goalkeepers in the studio and not get into goalkeeping. And, of course, there you go. There is James Trafford. He starts today. Of course, we know by now the incredible record that he had with Burnley when he was there. Of course, one of our own, though, Mancunian, Manchester City fan, family of Mancunian City fans, came through our academy as well. And we all know as fans that there is nothing better for us. So let's get into goalkeeping, KB. First of all, in terms of young goalkeepers, because both of you, I mean, throughout your careers, you had young goalkeepers came through when you were playing that went on to be, incredible. Obviously, you had Ellie Roebuck, you had Kasper Schmeichel when you were here as well, JMO. What advice are you giving to young goalkeepers that are coming through? What advice would James Trafford have been getting as a young goalkeeper coming through?
I think as a young goalkeeper, it's always about, not trying to put too much pressure on yourself, not, beating yourself up when you make mistakes, because as we spoke about earlier in the show, they are inevitable, aren't they? Taking every opportunity to learn from each other. Obviously, the goalkeeper union, you can always learn something from the number one, whoever's kind of in front of you, about what to do, what not to do. But yeah, I would say just be patient. I remember when I started to break into the England side, I wanted to play there and then, and I was kind of like, the reins were on, and it really drove me nuts. And maybe that kind of brought out some behaviors that I was frustrated and I didn't quite like at the time. But then learning to bide my time, to grow, physically, but also psychologically, I think was something really beneficial to me. I don't know how that went for you.
Well, I'd agree. I think the key is, and maybe this is bigger than just goalkeeping, is understanding yourself. At any age, you need to understand yourself to know why things aren't happening, to know what for example, if your goal is to be England's #1 goalkeeper, how do you get there? And how do you have to change? Because ultimately you're going to have to change. It's too easy to set goals which are unachievable, like clean sheet goals. You've got no control over these things. But performance, and also I think the relationship with you and your coach is paramount to success. And again, being able to have those difficult conversations about what didn't go right, what could be improved, or if things were great, how to kind of keep level, because there is the flip side, isn't there, that you make the best save, and you get a little bit carried away with it. And I think in time I got used to it. I mean, James would say he's 21 years old, 20 or 22 if he's nearly 22. There is so much growing room there with the capability already, as he's proved for Burnley last season. Granted, it was in Championship, but the Premier League season before that, I think it was an astute signing. I loved his response. He's a Manchester boy, and it was only ever going to be Man City, and it's kind of like all the things you want for City going forward. And he's put himself in a position, whilst in the squad, to probably push for the England #1 spot as well.
Of course, because he's in the England squad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's been through the system. The key thing with England goalkeeping is there is a pathway, a clear pathway to that #1 spot. Granted, Jordan Pickford has done very well. But he's done better than very well. He's done exceptionally well to keep that position. But every time a bit of competition comes, it kind of fails, and I think James is in a position to really have a go.
I mean, his relationship with Xabi, obviously the goalkeeper coach as well, has been great, throughout the academy, but then also while he's been away on loan, and obviously being at Burnley as well, they've been in touch constantly, having conversation about his performances and getting that sort of feedback. So it did feel inevitable that it would kind of come full circle. So I am really pleased for him from a personal perspective, because when I was at the first team with women, he was kind of still thereabouts in the academy. Max was working with him in the academy as well. And you can just see there's a big character there, a big personality, and that confidence has just, again, blossomed from year to year to year. And he's such a resilient man, such a strong, confident character that I think he will really thrive if he continues to get the opportunities.
Confidence and resilience, two words he said there. They're, for me, when I think of goalkeepers, I think, they have to, obviously everybody needs, but they have to be so resilient. Like, goodness me, I don't know how goalkeepers can, make a mistake and then, bounce back. But I guess that goes to the level of confidence that they have. Are they two of the characteristics that are key for a good goalkeeper, JMO?
Absolutely. I mean, physicality, I think, and I'm not saying you have to be big. I'm anti height-wise. I just think physicality, if you're small, you just need to jump a lot higher. That's fair enough. But I think the thing that is going to be a test for James, hoping that this is the springboard for him to have a long-term Man City career, is the challenges that come. The rumours about other goalkeepers coming in. The game will change and the requirements will become different. The rules will change to make things different. But he's got everything, as you say, the confidence, very confident. He's got resilience, and we shall see whether that is at its best today because of obviously recovering from anything that might have been negative from last weekend. But everything is in place for this to be an exceptional career.
In terms of modern-day goalkeeping, some of the comments that we've heard about James Trafford over the last week is he a Manchester City goalkeeper? Is he a Pep goalkeeper? Can he use his feet? Goalkeeping obviously has changed so much. And you immediately laugh, James. Because I think we all do, because ultimately, number one thing, surely, for a goalkeeper is that you can save the ball.
Keep the ball at the back of the net.
Keep the ball out of the back of the net.
Some people forget that sometimes.
Yeah, what do you make about these discussions of the modern goalkeeper?
I think, it has changed so much. From when I started playing, perhaps from when you were playing as well, you could throw the ball back in and you could get, you could pick it up. In passing it, you could pick it up,
Wow.
So
Hang on a minute. I used to play with James Milner.
So the game has moved on quite a lot, hasn't it? But yeah, he's come through the City Academy. Like, he is a product of how they play. The methodology is to build, and I think, yes, of course, when he was at Burnley, there was a more directness into the way that he was distributing, but he's more than capable. He's in the England senior team. He's more than capable of playing the ball out with his feet. It's just that timing, just that fine detail that we saw last week, just playing it to the wrong side of Nico. And that will kill you, but he nearly made up for it. So I think the team itself still has a lot of confidence in him and his abilities. They see it day in and day out. And I think, everyone just kind of needs to calm down about, there might be moments where it looks like it's wavering a bit, but he's got the capabilities. He's good enough.
Yeah, I think one thing that really frustrates me about this modern-day goalkeeper thing is it's almost as if the goalkeepers are doing something fundamentally different to what they were doing before. They're not. They're controlling balls and passing to one of their teammates. They might be asked to do it in different environmental situations, i.e. with bodies around. But ultimately, it's the ability to control the ball and make the pass. Every player on the field will make a bad pass. It's very rare you see 100% pass rate completion from the best players in the world. I think Messi I've seen a couple of times. But ultimately, as I say, he can do all these things. He can do them better than other goalkeepers, perhaps. But the modern day thing, they're not asked to do step overs and take goalkeepers forwards on like Eddie does from time to time. But I'm sure there will be a time where he might.
I don't know. I think I do have to disagree just a little bit with that, because I do think the pace and the coordination of the press has changed quite a lot as well.
Fundamentally, it hasn't changed. You control the ball and you pass it, and if you've got you can train this. And this is my point about young goalkeepers. Some players are limited, but that's at any position to be able to make a clean pass. For whatever reason, mechanics, whatever. But you can train and practice to become better. So all you do is you train, practice to become better in tighter situations, and the best goalkeepers will come to the fore. And I think James is one of those goalkeepers who's capable. But every now and again, there will be a misplaced pass.
I like the discussion.
Can't really defend that in terms of the technical ability and things like that. But the amount of time they're probably on the ball with the ball at their feet, I think, has probably increased significantly.
Yeah.
In terms of the short passes, in terms of the additional pressure of standing in front of your goal on the goal line, particularly the way that the top, European clubs play these days, I think is probably significantly different.
I think. Sorry, if we just quickly extend this a little bit, the issue is, even like against Tottenham, James has the ball at his feet. He isn't getting pressed, but then he makes the pass. And the point is, teams will always step off the goalkeeper on the ball. It's very rare.
Let's look at it, Jamo. We've got it. Let's look at it. Talk me through what you think he's thinking. Talk me through what's happening.
Well, you put the ball into the middle, and that gets put out wide. Every team does this. Brentford do it.
Do you want it a bit further back?
No, it's fine. Because you kind of credit Tottenham to a point where you say, well, they're putting pressure on. But a lot of teams do this. So, as KB said, if that ball goes on the left foot, it just gets popped out to the right, or the outside of the foot out to the left, and there's no problem. He does actually make amends with the block. And it's unfortunate that that isn't cleared away. And if that had been cleared away, it's 1-0 going into half-time and there's not as much stress. But this kind of start position is regular. The problem that James is going to have is if this mistake happens again, then other teams are going to go, hang on a minute, we're onto something here. And then the pressure gets onto him not to make that pass. And Pep is saying, we can't play our game. For it to happen once is fine.
I agree with that point, but I do think it's also interesting if you did wind the clip back a little bit more further, you could see that actually the midfielders aren't looking at the ball when he decides to when the centre-back plays the ball back to Traff, like they're actually not looking at him. So there's a delay in terms of when they show for the ball as well. So there's so many little intricacies in how this works in terms of the timing to play central, to play wide. But if you look at the bottom of the picture as well on the screen, Oscar Bob is in acres of space on the opposite side. So it's one of those where...
Do you know what I find interesting? It sounds like the pundit bit here.
Well, that's what we are.
Yeah, no. But the pundit says he should have done this. When we know certain managers don't want you to do what you think is right, there's a and it goes back to the point. If the pass is right in the first place, then the out ball is right. Man City run up the field and maybe score an equaliser in the last minutes of the first half. The pass isn't right, so there was a fault with the first pass. But the idea was the right idea, just wrongly executed.
I'm not disagreeing with that at
So
all.
when something goes wrong, it's always, and this is a goalkeeper's world, it's kind of, should have done this. It's kind of like, yeah, there's a million things I could have done, but I was asked to do this one. I didn't do that the way that I was supposed to do it. And then it's kind of like, well, don't do it again, and then you'll be all right.
If it works out, though, I don't think Pep's ever going to go, what'd you do that for? Do you know what I mean?
We're only suggesting something else because that bit didn't go right. And it wasn't the right. We admit that it wasn't the right pass. I mean, it sounds like we're having a go at him here, but it's kind of like you're doing the right thing, but you just did it wrong. That's the learning point. Yeah. If you're not capable of doing it or you're any question, then maybe the opportunity to do something else is available.
Yeah. I just don't think as a fan I'll ever feel, even when I know we've got the world's best players, I'll ever feel settled in that position. The old school football fan in me just wanted him to put his foot through it and kick it as far away as he possibly could.
And do you know, the funny thing is, if he kicks it long and it goes out of play, then the question is, why isn't he playing out the back? He can't play out the back. He hasn't got confidence. It kind of... It's always the mistakes. There are always 101.
Put it into Rosette, J-Mo. I'm fine with it.
Have it.
Have it, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I really, really enjoyed that. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. Do you know what else I'm enjoying today? Seeing our FG pitch side. FG, he's at the United City PL2 Derby. Give us an update, mate.
All right, OK, so not much in terms of chances. Jaden Heskey had a chance, it went wide, but there is an update in terms of yellow cards and substitutions. So, City's number 6, Femi Fapitu, got booked, and rightly so, for breaking up a tackle. But then he's gone and made a very similar tackle, which he quite possibly could have been sent off for. He was on a booking as he makes this challenge. So that was the one, potentially you'd argue is a yellow card. Anyway, what's happened from that is, from the free kick of this, we've seen the acrobatic clearance from Mfuni. But if you look at that tackle, he's very lucky to stay on the pitch, but he's no longer on the pitch because Ben Wilkinson has taken matters into his own hands, of course, and made a substitution. He's brought on Mamadou Sangare, who's recently signed from PSG. We're going to see the free kick as well. And what about this for an acrobatic clearance from Mfuni? Not bad. Not bad at all. And also, speaking of Mfuni, he's now just forced a booking for a Manchester United player, which we will touch on in a moment. But let's take another look at the acrobatic clearance from Stephen Mfuni.
How long have you got until half-time, FG?
We're 4 minutes... Well, we're 42 minutes in now, so 3 minutes. That's bad maths, Nat. Apologies. But yeah, we're not so much is happening in terms of chances, but we've had some bookings, and like I said, Mfuni went on another run from the edge of his box, and he ended up getting a Manchester United player booked, which was the son of Darren Fletcher. There's two sons of Darren Fletcher playing today, Tyler and Jack. The twins.
Sangare, wasn't he? Didn't he score two against Wigan on Tuesday?
Oldham.
Against Oldham. There's a chance for Manchester United here, and a goal for Manchester United. Scored by number 9, Chino Obi. We've lost the ball quite poorly there.
Oh, FG.
Our box, and it's a goal for Manchester United, unfortunately.
Oh, FG. Oh. Oh, no.
It's quite a frustrating one, that one, I think, because going into half-time, I think 0-0 would have been a fair scoreline, but that was a mistake at the back. And it was a goal scored by Chido Obi.
OK, here's the replay. KB, JMO. So is he going to lose the ball? Does he lose the ball there? Yeah.
I think that was Devine who's just lost the ball there as well, and he's taken it well. It's
Fair
I mean,
play
the goalkeeper's union
to the player.
100% will be defending him, but yeah, it's poor defending and not ideal going into half-time, but there is still a lot of play here as well.
JMO, KB, what do you think?
It's because FG's changed his microphone. He had a yellow microphone before.
Listen, it's not me. It's not me who's changed my microphone. I'm getting told whether to change my microphone. I thought we'd just try and change up the colours, you know, but this one's not going to be used anymore.
I can't believe JMO noticed that. Oh, my God. How are you noticing FG's microphone? FG, thanks, mate. Sorry you had to be on live TV there when Man United scored a goal. That's like my worst nightmare. Thank you so much to FG. So it's nearly half-time there. As a reminder, that game is live on City Plus. You can watch that on there right now. How do you notice these things, David James?
Because I was thinking about how it complemented your outfit today.
Oh, very kind. Well, no. Do you like my outfit?
A compliment, that's a positive, yes.
OK.
Sure, there's a pink one in there.
Oh, OK. Well. Yes, thank you, David. At least my outfit is fully yellow. I noticed you've got red socks on and then a blue top.
A couple of my teams who wear red and blue might be playing today. One wears blue, one wears red. It's fine.
OK. Onwards we go, onwards. OK, I want to speak to you both quickly about the Champions League draw because, of course, that happened this week. And as always, it pulled out some absolutely fascinating games. So there we go. That is who we are playing in our Champions League campaign in the big old table. I'll never stop calling it that stage. The 8 games that you can see. And we're going to open our Champions League campaign by welcoming Kevin De Bruyne back to the Etihad Stadium with, of course, with his new team, Napoli. Any excuse to show a Kevin De Bruyne goal, although we very much hope he does not do this when he returns. That's going to be played, of course, on Thursday, the 18th of September, so it's only a few weeks, and we'll get to see our Kev again, KB. That was a nice surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Even though it kind of felt like it was written in the stars that he was going to return, so maybe there is a bit of a conspiracy looming, but it'll be great, you know, to welcome him back to the Etihad. I'm sure the home fans, the City fans will be so pleased to give him a warm welcome, but yeah.
Oh, I say surprise, but you're totally right. I said that very tongue-in-cheek. We were going to get Kev back and we were going to play Real Madrid. There is some other crossovers with City players as well. So Echeverry, who's currently on loan at Bayern Leverkusen, we'll get to play him again. And the UEFA rules state that loaned players can play against their parent club. So we may see him. Now, who remembers this one from the summer? Bing! So again, we'll be hoping he's not doing that in that game as well. So Echeverry will be here for Leverkusen and another returnee as well. I'm really excited about this one. Leroy Sané returns when Galatasaray come to the Etihad as well. Sané returns. I remember this goal like it was yesterday. Have that one, David James. Oh, that was a good one. And he's going to be coming back as well. So lots of them. And then, of course...
And he is as well.
And he is going back to Anfield as well, yeah. And we'll see him when we go out there to the Burnabout for the 5th consecutive season. Look, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm absolutely sick to death of playing Real Madrid. I really didn't want to draw them. I'm not surprised that we did as well, but I just didn't want to play them again, Karen.
I know, it's getting a bit old now, isn't it? But yet another opportunity to go and test yourself against the best, and hopefully this time we can put it right. You know, obviously last season was a bit of a disappointing Champions League campaign, and, you know, with a bolstered squad, hopefully, you know, we'll be able to perform a bit better.
I'm loving the Champions League format, the new format.
Are you?
Yeah, I am, because when you think about it, the best team in qualification, Liverpool, didn't win it. The team who arguably had the worst qualification by qualifying was Paris Saint-Germain at the expense of City, but they ended up winning it. And it was kind of like, how do you want to approach this qualification? Oh, we've got Real Madrid, but arguably you don't have to win any of these games. You just have to make sure you're in the mix, and it might be a...
Yeah. My problem with it is I don't want to like anything UEFA does. There's like a natural instinct in me that just doesn't want to like it. But I agree with you, because the draw, there is some incredible games, and we get to play teams that we've not played before, which seem to stop happening as well. So I'm excited for some of these games.
Well, can I say, I might be slightly political. I'd rather UEFA changing formats than having mass World Cups in the summer, which, if you don't win them, aren't worth winning.
Yes, let's stay focused, Jamo.
Yes.
Stay focused, yes. But I don't disagree with you. Okay, in terms of the draw on a whole, I think that in the away games and the home games have gone really well for us. You know, when the games came out, you know, we could have had. I wouldn't have liked to have gone to Galatasaray away or Napoli away. I think the away legs look a bit more favourable.
Oh, I mean, when you throw Real Madrid in there, I'm not so sure. But the likes of Bodo Glimt and things, I actually would really love to go to Bodo Glimt. That's kind of like my sort of adventure up towards the Arctic Circle, you know. But I do think, you know, that type of experience just for the fans alone would be really cool to be a part of. But yeah, you've obviously got Real Madrid away, you've got Monaco away, which would be, you know, a super fun trip to be a part of as well, again, for the fans and everyone that's going to go to that game. But to, you know, see how Eric Dyer's getting on would be pretty good. But I think they're all doable. Obviously, Real Madrid will be the biggest test away, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Bodo Glimt, by the way, is January, KB. If you do want to go, I'd suggest packing your thermals.
Right, several pairs.
Northern Lights, no?
I imagine
that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. FG is still standing by. Obviously, we know that we send FG all around the world watching City. FG, when you see the draw, which of those away games are you fancying?
I mean, I'm the same as KB, of course. I can't wait to go towards the Arctic Circle. But I mean, an interesting one for us all. Last season wasn't great for us in the Champions League, but it sets it up really nicely for us potentially to go to the Bernabeu on the 10th of December and potentially look at solidifying our place, hopefully, in a qualification position. So it could be quite a nice one to go to the Bernabeu. We've had a good day, one good day there. Normally it doesn't go very well, but it sets it up nicely, so who knows?
Bernardo Silva loves playing Real Madrid, by the way. This is just an excuse just to remind us how good this goal was when we played them. Love that. Thank you, Bernardo Silva. We'll have a couple more of those, please. That would be absolutely lovely. Bernardo is our top goal scorer, by the way, against Madrid. He's scored 4 goals in 10 appearances against Real Madrid. Here he goes again. Oh, we just snuck that right past him, didn't we? Look at that. Oh.
I love that kit as well.
Yes, I love that kit. I love that kit. So that was, if you remember, just 3 minutes into that game as well. Oh, I love the silence of the Bernabeu. Oh, very suave Pep there as well. Very milk tray man, our Pep there. Loving that look for him. So yes, another Bernabeu trip there. Do you know what, FG? You're totally right. I would like to go there having already qualified. But to be honest, if we played Real Madrid in a pre-season friendly, I'd still want to beat them. It's really got that proper rivalry now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the sky blue blood inside you now. I agree completely. One thing I will say is shout out to everyone in the gallery who's just found that Bernardo goal. They had it waiting, and you've just asked me that question with no preparation whatsoever. But it's going to be really good, the Champions League this year. I've got a really good feeling about it, and hopefully we're going to have a good season.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait, FG. Thank you very much. So you're half-time now.
Yeah, half-time. 1-0 to Manchester United. I think City will be pretty disappointed. They've had the better of the chances, but there's still so much to play. And they're also going to be shooting towards us in the second half, which should be really exciting. The future is very, very bright. Our front three look really, really good.
Right, go and get yourself some food.
I'm excited for the second half. I'm still confident.
What's on offer? Have you had a look?
I will do. You don't have to ask me. I'll come back and report. You don't have to ask me twice. I'm going to go get some food. Thanks.
That's the info that we really need, FG. Thank you so much. FG's off to get his lunch. We will hear from him as well in half-time of the men's game as well. We'll find out what happened. You can watch that game, City plus the second half going into that. Oh, my goodness. It's like 8 minutes until kick-off. Where is all the time gone? Wow. Right, we need to refocus back on City taking on Brighton in the Premier League. And the big news, of course, that Rodri starts today. We are so excited by that news. There he is, that man. And loving that. like that training top as well. We come out with some lovely training tops. OK, with 8 minutes to go until kick-off, KB, what are you thinking? Give me your thoughts ahead of the game. Can we do it? What sort of game are we expecting?
Oh, I think considering that Brighton haven't got off to the start they've wanted to, I think they'll be really up for this game, you know. And last season, they did score goals against us, so I do imagine that they probably will score again. But, you know, we'll want to put that Spurs performance right as well. So I do think that this will probably end up 2-1 to Manchester City, I reckon.
I'll take it, KB. I'd like a clean sheet. I'd like it. But shout out to all the City fans that travelled all the way down to Brighton as well. Our away fans always absolutely hardcore. JMO, for you, what sort of game?
Well, again, looking at corresponding fixtures from last season, and City, I think, only had 1 win in the first 5 games. This is an opportunity to beat those numbers. I think City can win this. I think they can win it 2-0. James Trafford is in my fantasy team.
Is he? That's brave.
That's why I was saying some nice things about him.
Manifest it, go on.
Yeah. No, I just think the change of personnel is early enough in the season for it all to make sense, because what with the Club World Cup that we mentioned before, pre-season, all the sort of the way it can be a bit turbulent leading into the beginning of the season, I think Pep has seen what he needs, and if it's just about pace in the Christenov at the back, then that's fine. He's picked the team to win, Rodri in the middle to help that win. 2-0.
Oh, please, I would love that clean sheet. I would love that. Well, we forget to mention as well, because Ryan Ait-Norris starts today. He went off in that Spurs game. He's in my FPL team. I was worried about that, but I held on until the press conference. He starts today as well. There we go. The teams are in the tunnel. You can see that. What another gorgeous training top from us. Loving that. There's Bernardo Silva. You can see behind him there is James Trafford. So get your match commentary of Brighton versus City on the app. You can get that with the wonderful Alistair Mann as well. And Steve Howie is with Alistair Mann. Is Ryan Ait-Norris yawning? Why is he yawning, JMO?
That is nerves.
Is it?
Yeah. He's so pumped up, he is yawning. It's like me after 10 coffees.
He's just trying to get some oxygen in. Yeah, chill.
I love that. And there we go with Bernardo Silva. I'm actually loving that training top. What's James Trafford saying there, do you think? I love this. Let's just guess what the players are saying. Right, we'll be back with you at half-time and full-time. We'll get an update from FG at half-time as well. 2-0 prediction from David James, 2-1 prediction from KB. Oh, come on, I really would like 3 points today. So thank you so much for watching Matchday Live today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to hand over now to the wonderful Alistair Mann.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Timing impeccable as always. Players in the tunnel about to enter a warm and sunny Amex Stadium on a day that's probably taken on greater significance considering last weekend's game against Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Brighton are certainly no pushovers, but they are without a victory so far in the Premier League this season. And the Blues will be hoping to eradicate any lingering negativity that defeat to Spurs last weekend may have created. Having beaten Wolves comprehensively on the opening day, that reverse to Spurs was a genuine shock to the system. It makes today's game even greater significance.